What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So after yesterday's video, literally about 2 hours after I uploaded that video, we got some official news for the Burning Crusade Classic Anniversary, and we're going to talk about it right here in this video. So let me jump over to my main screen and pull up these articles. So first off, let me share my screen so you guys could see. We're going to bring this on over. And we are going to talk about this. Blizzard reverts the recent dungeon changes to investigate bugs in Burning Crusade Anniversary. So Blizzard recently announced that it would be taking steps to reduce dungeon boosting and gold farming activities within high-level dungeons. In the Burning Crusade, however, these changes led to fewer loot drops, reduced gold, and sometimes not being allowed to award gear to specific players. Now, Blizzard has stated that these unintended changes were due to bugs, and they have reverted the changes in order to investigate. So, TLDR, they have now reverted all those changes we talked about yesterday, right? They're no longer in the game, but this is not permanent, most likely. They are probably reverting them to look for these bugs and fix them, and then they're going to re-implement these changes. Most likely, there's a slight chance that maybe they saw the backlash and this is them kind of backpedaling. We're not 100% sure on that, but I expect to see these changes put back into the game eventually, right? So let's read the official blue post. It was pretty small, so we can go through it. Yesterday, we implemented the hotfixes described above to support core gameplay in instances of Burning Crusade Classic Anniversary. Unfortunately, these changes were impaired by bugs that did not appear in our pre-release testing. The result was unintended behavior of drops for both solo and group players. For example, one bug resulted in some players becoming completely disallowed from rolling on loot. With an update we sent to the live game a few minutes ago, this was last night by the way, we have reverted the original changes while we investigate these bugs. Thank you for your feedback. So as of right now, they have done a complete 180 on all of those changes. It's back to how it was before they did that. So you shouldn't have any of the loot issues. Like, you know, we were talking about it yesterday. There was people, you know, healers specifically in Karazhan that weren't able to roll on pieces of loot because they didn't participate in the fight or whatever. Maybe they were drinking to full mana and they didn't cast a single heal. Stuff like that. Those were completely unintended bugs, right? I'm sure Blizzard did not mean for that to be in the game. So they have reverted everything completely. Now, aside from that, we got some more news yesterday, which we're also going to talk about. We're going to come right on over to here. Burning Crusade Anniversary Phase 2 officially launches on May 14th. So pretty much a 3-month Phase 1, which is a lot longer than most people anticipated it being. Blizzard has announced that the Burning Crusade Classic Anniversary Phase 2 will release on May 14th at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Overlords of Outland will include 2 new raids, the Eye and Serpent Shrine Cavern, as well as 2 new factions, the Ogrela and Shatari Skyguard. The battle for Outland heats up on May 14th as WoW Classic Burning Crusade Anniversary Edition. Overlords of Outland launches globally on all realms at 3 p.m. Pacific on May 14th. Take the fight to Illidan Stormrange's lieutenants, brave 2 new raids, and chase new rewards across the shattered world of Outland. So we get the new raids, we get the Ogrela and Shatari Skyguard factions, we get Arena Season 2, we get new profession recipes, and the Druid Swift Flight form, which is the Druid Epic Flying, you know, their form for that. So this is very, very interesting to me. So let's jump back over to the game real quick. We're just going to kind of walk around, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on both of these things. So starting off with the reverting of the boosting changes, like I was saying before, it's very possible that, like, you know, the fact that there was bugs definitely gives Blizzard a reason to kind of revert these changes and say, you know, we're investigating the bug fixes, whatever. There is a slight chance that we really don't see them implement these changes again because maybe they did see all the backlash. There was like nobody that was happy about these changes. Nobody asked for them. They didn't help the game in any way, shape, or form. And just a weird thing to do. It was a very weird thing. Nobody was complaining about that. Nobody was asking for that. There's problems in Anniversary that are here and are problems that people are asking be fixed, like the arena rating situation. And they're not fixing that. They're fixing things that no one's asking for. So maybe they saw the backlash. Maybe they're backpedaling a little bit. You know, maybe they aren't going to implement them again. But again, they stated in the post that they just reverted the changes to fix the bugs, meaning once those bugs are figured out and once those bugs are fixed, they're probably going to put those changes back in the game. So be prepared for that and don't be super happy and think that they're gone forever, because I have a feeling that they're going to be coming back, right? It just makes sense. It seems like this is the way that they're moving with Anniversary. They're kind of just doing weird stuff that no one's asking for, and it's fine. Whatever, you know what? We don't own the game. They could do whatever they want, and we just have to play it and deal with it. Aside from that, the May 14th date for Phase 2 in the Burning Crusade is very interesting. And let me explain to you why. Because most people, since this was even announced, were under the impression that the Burning Crusade Classic Anniversary was going to be a super fast version of TBC. And that doesn't really make sense now, does it? If we're doing 3-month phases, it's going to kind of be almost the same as last time, maybe a little bit shorter, right? That leads us to believe that Phase 3 is coming out like right before BlizzCon, like a week or two before BlizzCon, okay? And just so you guys are aware, let me pull this back up. I'm going to pull it over here, and I'm going to show TBC phases. And we're going to talk through which phases are which. So if you come over here and look, Phase 3 would be Mount Hyjal and Black Temple. Phase 4 would be Zulaman, and then Phase 5 is Sunwell. So if we're getting Phase 3, which is Hyjal and Black Temple, which is the phase after this phase we're getting in May, that's very interesting, right? Because that means that, here's the thing, they could potentially do like Zulaman being a very quick phase, right? Because let's be real, Phase 4, like Zulaman is not a full phase, it's a catch-up raid, right? So they very much could do that and make like certain phases shorter than others. Maybe they made Phase 1 of TBC a little bit longer because of the fact that you need to farm up all these reputations for your heroics, and then you need to do the eye attunement. I mean, for anyone who hasn't even started it yet, I highly recommend starting it, because this is the eye attunement for Tempest Keep. It's a very, very, very long attunement. It goes on forever and could take you quite a long time, and you have to do, a bunch of heroics for the attunement as well. So maybe that's the reason why they're doing a longer Phase 1 TBC. So I guess we could still maybe, see a faster TBC Classic roadmap. Let's pull up the roadmap so you guys can see this as well. Yeah, perfect. Let me bring this over. Save, open. Okay. So this is the roadmap that they released when for TBC. We have BlizzCon happening September 12th, right? Phase 1 winter, Phase 2 spring. This kind of does line up, pretty perfectly. If you look at your calendar, let's say we do a 3-month Phase 2, that puts us to June, July, August. That would mean that in the middle of August, we're going to be getting Phase 3, which is right before BlizzCon. And then I guess after that, we would look at like September, October, November for Zulaman. And then December, January, February, end of February, we get Sunwell possibly. That is like the only way this kind of makes sense in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see. But, they very much could do certain phases a lot shorter than others. And that might honestly be, what they're going for here. Obviously, we don't know, but at least we got an announcement for Phase 2. So if you haven't got those attunements done yet for the Eye and Serpent Shrine Cavern, don't worry, you have a lot of time. We have 4 weeks before those raids even come out. At this point in time, you could level up another character to 70, farm all your gear, and get 4 raid lockouts in before those raids even come out. So there's plenty of time to do anything that you need to do. So if you were worried about time before, don't be worried about it now. There's a lot of time left. But anyways, guys, like the video. It helps me out a lot. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about all this, the reverting, the boosting changes, the May 14th release date for Phase 2. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about all this. And subscribe to the channel if you guys love Classic WoW just as much as me. Follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/hammerdance. I stream Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.